I have cooked up a doozy here for this problem. It's got about everything we've done up to this point mixed in with it, plus some kind of a little more challenging factoring to it. Let's read through it. Simplify 6x squared minus 17x plus 5 over 6x squared minus 15x times 6x plus 6 over negative 3x squared plus 4x minus 1. Now, it may be tempting to do some canceling at this point. For example, the 6x squareds, can I just wipe them off? Why not? Because they are common terms. They're not factors. You can only cancel things that factor out or are a factor. And 6x squared is not factored out of the numerator, for example, so we can't touch it. So I can't stress this too much. This whole section, everything we do begins with factoring everything in sight. So factor everything. And then think about canceling common factors, not common terms. Alright, so let's see. This first one's going to be a little challenging maybe. Let's see. 6x squared minus 17x plus 5 has no greatest common factor, so we'll have to split it up. One thing working in our favor is that 5 is 1 times 5. It's the only way you can break it up. And in fact, in order to get a positive here and a negative there, these are going to both have to be negatives. What about 6x squared? It's probably 3x and 2x, and I think the 3 has to go here, and the 2x has to go there. So let's double check that factoring. It says 6x squared minus 15 minus 2, that's actually minus 17x, and then here the negatives cancel, I get plus 5. So everything checks out, and again, about probably at least half the errors made in this chapter are due to people just not factoring them correctly, not checking their factoring. So, now, did you hear me on that? About half the errors are due to factoring errors. So, that means there's a good chance you're going to make factoring errors, unless if you decide to check your factoring. Alright, if you check your factoring and do that well, then you've cut out about half the errors. Alright, let's move on. This binomial here, 6x squared minus 15x, has a common factor of 3 and x. So I can take out 3x, and that would leave 2x minus 5. And that's good because these 2x minus 5s are going to go. Times, this one's easy to factor, 6 parentheses x plus 1. Down below, ooh, that's going to be a tricky one, isn't it? I'm going to, because it starts with a negative, so we don't face that very much. But I know I have to have 1's at the ends, and I have to have a, let's try a negative 3x and an x. See how that works. And let's see, this is going to be negative 3x, maybe. I need that to be positive, don't I? So I need a negative here to cancel. So here I've got a positive 3x, because the negatives cancel. Positive 3x, I need a plus x here to make 4x. So let's double check that factoring, make sure it's correct. Especially on this one, because again, you know, factoring with a negative in front is something you almost never do. I'm not even sure there's a problem in the textbook like that. So, but I did this on purpose to show you some things. So let's double check this. This is minus 3x squared. Okay, that's good. Plus 3x plus 1x is plus 4x, and there's minus 1. All checks out. Alright, so let's see what we got here. We can cancel 2x minus 5. So now, I'm not cross-canceling, but it doesn't matter. I'm simplifying this fraction. As long as you cancel something on top with something identical down below, you're okay. Now what else can we do? X plus 1, x minus 1 will not cancel. They're different. It doesn't look like this would cancel until you look at it more closely and say, well, wait a minute, they're opposite signs, aren't they? 3x, negative 3x, negative 1, positive 1. So that's that case where we have the opposite signs. A number divided by its opposite is negative 1. So this cancels up here as -1. How about that? All right, so let's piece together what's left. I have a negative 6x plus 1, negative 6 parentheses x plus 1 over 3x times x minus 1. And I would say probably at least half students will stop here, because I've given problems like this, not this complicated, but I have given problems kind of similar to this, a little easier on test, and students like to stop there. But why am I not done? Because I can do a little more simplifying. The 3 cancels into the 6 2 times, so now we have negative 2 parentheses x plus 1 over x parentheses x minus 1. Now these are factored completely, and x plus 1, x minus 1 will not simplify. They are not opposite signs, just the ones are, not the x's. So that's all we can do. The problem is completed.